Right, today, Easter Sunday, 22nd of April, and it's the 12th running of the Major Stone Half Marathon after an absence of 4 years. One of the motivators and one of the organisers of the event is Peter Collinson. Are you pleased with the response, Peter?
Yes, very much so, Pete. Really, 278 runners on for an event like this is ideal, really, handling them all from the clubhouse. It's just about right, we think.
I'm very impressed with the quality of the field today. I see we've got Chris Woodhouse, who's one of the fastest runners in the Northern 12-stage relay last week. He must be the favourite.
Yeah, it looks, as usual, this Major Stone event, with it being a very fast, flat course, as you know yourself, it always seems to pull in some of the top runners, like we've had Dave Cannon, Kevin Best, Mike Hurd over the years, and of course attracting Chris Woodhouse today, we're very pleased. And as you say, it looks like Kevin Best's course record of 65.29 will probably go today because the conditions are absolutely ideal.
Yes, we've got it's almost an unofficial Humberside Championship as well, with John Clark and John Barker.
Yeah,
and possibly Peter Ellison.
Yeah, the local contingent are there again, as you mentioned, John Clark, and of course there's yourself, Pete Ellison, and John Barker up there. There's Patrick Howdle, this Olympic biathlon athlete as well. He usually has a good run in this particular half marathon. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good race all round, Pete.
Yeah, well, once again it looks like a very well organised race, and we look forward to it with relish.
Yep, okay then, let's get you warmed up and away we go, I should think.
Thanks, Pete.
Cheers.
We're already in the start of the Major Stone Half Marathon. We have some familiar figures: John Clark Grimsby, Chris Woodhouse, Shane Page is having a brave attempt at the front with the best time of about 78 minutes. Obviously he's going to have to pay for this early effort. The race is about half a mile old now as it comes past the Sutton Infirmary. Good field of about 270 runners. Which is about twice as many as the previous Major Stone Half Marathon, held in August 1980. This is the 12th running of this event. Going through the first mile in 4 minutes 58. And the main runners in this race are all in that group. In fact, all the runners in that group will finish in the first 10. Carl Nightingale, a former member of the City of Hope, in the yellow vest, says he's on good form at the moment. Chris Woodhouse, he was in the national 12-stage relay final at Sutton Coldfield yesterday, where his club, Derby and County, finished 6th. So he's running a little bit cautiously at the moment, having run a hard 6-mile leg yesterday. The day is quite a contrast to yesterday. It's quite cool. chill wind. As the runners come up to 2 miles, 10 minutes 10, so it's not a dramatic pace. But the wind is a little bit of trouble. Now this is the corner of Whiten Bar, just before 3 miles. Right in the front are Ellison, John Clark and Woodhouse. And Mike Lake is coming next. He's in the army at the moment, but he's going to settle at Gould later this year, and will probably join City of Hull. The next group, Bill Aldridge, who has a bit of trouble with his sinuses and always needs to carry a handkerchief. John Potter. And Dennis Brown of Grimsby. Patrick Howdall, Army biathlon man, heads the next group. Alan Sedman. In his next group is Rod Train and Derek Pickering. Dave Brooke and Shane Page is just coming off the back of that group, so he is playing for the fast starting mate. Dave Ainsworth from Callagast fame as the next group. Rob Robinson, also of City of Hull. Pete Mason there, City of Hull, running his best race for a while. We're still at early stages though, this is about 3 miles. And you can see how this field is spread out. Probably this is the cheapest half marathon in the country now, with a £1 entry fee. See the Hull runners come through there, Phil Slater and his brother. Quite a few runners are in this race are using it as their last run out before the London Marathon in 3 weeks. As is the favourite for the race, Chris Woodhouse. Jim Stone's there, won his first ever race, exceeded 3,000 on Tuesday night. And this next group is a diminutive Barbara Brown, who's the leading lady today. Fits her running around a part-time job and looking after her family. Dave MacDonald with the white top on, Secretary of Holton Price Roadrunners. He's been round and running circles for a quarter of a century now. You can see how the holiday traffic's playing a little bit of havoc. It's John of Springhead Harriers, Frank Lucock. A lot of these runners will have progressed from marathons to half marathons, which is a funny way around to do it. But following the 1981 London Marathon, lots of runners were drawn into the sport with the idea of just running marathons. But it soon became apparent that that was a difficult thing to do. Here we are at about 5 miles. Chris Woodhouse is just beginning to get away from John Clark, with Pete Ellison of East Hull Harriers running his best race of the year in 3rd place. John Barker, Grimsby Harriers.
Yeah.
Consistent performer over many years. Carl Nightingale, Sheffield, goes through next. Pete Flatman leads Bob Paget of Spenborough. With Dave Lancaster of Rowntree's next. Mike Lake. Dennis Brown has moved up a place or two. He's now leading Bill Eldridge from East Hull Harriers. Along this long straight of 2 or 3 miles, there's into a headwind the whole way. That's John Potter, Secretary of the Bridlington Road Runners, a newly formed club, brought about by extra interest in road running. Steve Spooner, the Bridlington Road Runners, coming through now in about 18th position. Jim Rogers from East Hull leading the next group. John Devaney in there. Derek Pickering. And Trevor Shields, former club captain. Rod Train there and Pete DeVries. City of Old Club Secretary, former Hockey International, Alan Fowley, complete with headband. Steve McLeod there. Obviously, be finding a bit of punishing into the wind there. Dave Ainsworth is gradually recovering some of his warm form. Steve Tynegate,
Right.
Dave Brook, Rob Robinson, Shane Page. It's part of the course to run in groups. No advantage running on your own to the wind. Shane Page, the winner of the Humberside Fun Run, narrowly beaten in a sprint finish in the second seeded race in the 3000s last Tuesday night. Rob Robinson checking his watch. Dave Brook, Steve Tangate, a little bit of undulation here. Dave Ainsworth, in the distance you can see the Coolin Towers, Salt End. BP Chemical Works. Jim Dingwall is a research chemist. The sun's briefly coming out now, but it's still pretty cool. Derek Pickerinay, he's easily in the first over 45 slot. John Devaney, Trevor Shields, Tim Rogers. At 19 he has great prospects. First class distance runner. Steve Spooner, he's on his own, he's not a good position along this back straight. Wants to drop back, we'll get to this next group. Patrick Howell there, he's running on his own, 2 or 3 yards in front. John Potter, been running quite well recently. He ran the Scarborough half marathon last week. Dennis Brown, Bill Eldridge. Eldridge won East Seoul's half marathon championship with a time of 2:27, which he achieved in last year's London. Just going through to Sprotely at about 6.5 miles, halfway stage. Mike Lake. Dave Lancaster of Roundtrees. Bob Paget, Spenborough. P. Flatman trying to catch the next 2 runners. Carl Nightingale, John Barker. Probably left it a bit later. About 8.5 miles now. These runners are filling 4th and 5th position. They're running together and they're moving away from the chasing runners. Carl Nightingale has had about a 15-year history of running. He won the Yorkshire Youth Cross Country Championships in about 1970. Allison is in 3rd position. Much better run after following his disaster in the York Half Marathon. Now coming up to 10 miles. John Clark, usually a very hard man to beat. 2nd place. He's a farmer here from Lincolnshire. But in the lead is Derby, the county's Chris Woodhouse. I believe he works for the council as a refuse collector. He's really moving at this stage, well under 5 minutes a mile. He went through 10 miles in 49 minutes, 51 seconds.
You've got somebody kicking a puddle in order, so you go back and get in.
Now coming through the finish, Chris Woodhouse, a new course record, 64 minutes 33 seconds, despite a chill wind, which probably cost you a minute or so on the time, so nearly a minute off the previous best time. That's the calibre that he's running. 2nd place over a minute and a half later. John Clark, Queensland, 66 minutes and 7 seconds. A further minute later, Peter Ellison, 67 minutes, 18. Carl Nightingale just gets better of John Barker. Fine, personal best time of 67.53. With John Barker just outside 68.01. Coming through to 6th place is Dave Lancaster of Roundtrees, 68.52. Pete Blackman, 69.03. Bob Edgett from Spenbrook comes through to 8th place. 69 minutes, 23 seconds. There's a bit of a gap now to 9th place. Looks like Dennis Brown, 70 minutes 41 seconds. Mike Lake from Reading, 70 minutes. Hello. Very good race. Meantime, 71 minutes 19. He'll run another good race at London, I'm sure.
Are you getting these, Brian?
Some of the officials helping out. Hunter comes through next from Rotherham, 71.38. In 13th place, Son, John Potter, Newington, 72.03. Coming through for 14th place is Brian Jones, who disappeared off the stage recently. He reappeared today. He's doing quite a respectable performance. 72 minutes and 45 seconds. Patrick Howell, who competed in the Olympic Games biathlon team, comes 15th, 73.01. John Devane comes through next, excellent time, personal best 73.05. Jim Rogers on the 19th, 17th place, 73.27. 18th, Steve Spooner, Wellington, 73.30. Followed by Jay Brogan. In 19th place. 73.53. Just beating the over 45. Derek Pickering winner. The over 45s. 73.57. Travis Shields, East Holds College, 21st place.
I know what these are about to tell you.
Firstly, I wasn't actually looking for it. Yeah, well, I'll follow him. If I catch him, I'll give him just finish the full shooting.
Coming through now is Travis Shields, 74.45. With Ian Martinson in 22nd place from City of Hull. He ran a personal best 36 marathon at Wolverhampton. Nick Kenny, City of Hull's press officer, completes the race for a change. 23rd place, excellent time. 75 minutes, 16 seconds. Rod Train from East Hull, 75.19. Come through next is well-known City of Hull runner, Pete DeVries. 75 minutes, 47 seconds. Just ahead of Ben Liston from Harriers. Dave Ainsley. 76.17. Place. Followed by G. Simpson of Rotherham, 76.26. The next competitor wasn't entered, which is not very fair on the organisers. Would have filled 29 position. 77.07. Next runner was Steve Tynegate, 77 in 30th place, followed by Alan Cowley, City Hall, 77.30, S. Watson and Hatch, 77.16. Rob Robinson, Derek Brook. John Baker comes through next for East Holland, 35th place, 77.47.
It's all the others ones got to go home, not it.
John Baker. Steve McLeod, City of Hull, just 77.54. 37th, G Legend of East Hull, 78.01.
Oh, that 10k.
Shane Clay, S. Page, 78.43. Shane Page comes through 38th place. Just higher kind of Phil Grace and Brian Danes.
113.
Brian Danes was the third out of four. Right, the winner of today's Major Stone Half Marathon was Chris Woodhouse of Derby in a new course record of 64 minutes 33 seconds. Chris, how did it go for you?
Well, very well, very well. As I say, I ran at the 12th stage national at Sutton Park yesterday, so I didn't know how I was going to feel this morning, any aches or pains, so I just ran with the pack for the first 3 or 4 mile and then eased away.
What was your 5 mile time?
They didn't give a 5 mile time.
10 mile time?
10 mile time, 49.51.
So you came back very, very fast. Looks like just outside 14 minutes for the last 3 miles.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I know this is a preparation for the London Marathon in 3 weeks. What time are you hoping for there?
Well, I was running very well last autumn, and then I've had a series of small niggly injuries over the winter, and it's been ruining my build-up every time. And then as I've come back, I'm building up now nicely now, and I'm hoping to do about 2:12 for London, hopefully.
That would be exceptional. I know it's your second marathon, but do you see yourself as a marathon runner?
Yeah. If not a full marathon runner, then road runner, road racing, yes, because I don't know whether it's the track, whether it's the lap after lap after lap. I just don't know, but I can run faster over 10k on the road than I can on the track. So the coach that I had before, Alan Story, we worked it out that perhaps the road was my forte. You know, that it was just my surface, the road.
Of course, there's quite a lot of promotion and sponsorship coming into road races, especially in America. Do you see yourself in this?
Well, actually, there's a pipeline, a marathon in the pipeline in America, the Granny's Marathon, 6 weeks after London. So it's already. But I've got to say yes or no now before London. So hopefully, if I say yes, I'll have a decent London, you know. But hopefully, 2 or 3 trips might come away this year. Hopefully, anyway.
What did you think of the organisation today?
Very well, very well. No complaints really at all. Only the wind.
Yeah. Well, we all found that a bit tough, but quite exceptional run, Chris. Thank you.
Yes, very pleasing.
Thank you very much indeed.
Right, cheers, thanks.
Right, the winner of the ladies' race today is Barbara Brown of Grimsby. It's her third half marathon win in 6 weeks. What time did you get, Barbara?
84:23 today.
It was a bit windy. How did you find it?
I found it quite tough today, actually. I was a bit disappointed with my 10 time, which was 64:38. And I wasn't very happy with that, but I think I ran the last 3 because I was so annoyed at my 10 time. I ran the last 3 miles faster than I've run in the last 2 half marathons that I've done previously that I've run.
That's a very good sign for I believe you're preparing for the London, so that's a good sign, isn't it?
Yes, I hope so. I want to, I'm after 2:55 in the London Marathon, and that's my schedule. I'm going to try and pace myself for that time.
And what's your personal best now?
3:05. 3 hours 5, yeah. I feel as though I'm much fitter and I'm more capable of doing it this year.
How do you combine this with running the household and all that sort of thing, and children?
I just fit it in when I can, fit everything in when I can, really. I think really a lot of it is organisation, though, knowing what you're doing and fitting in your housework and your part-time job and looking after the children around it, being more a bit organised, really. Yeah. But I think any runner will tell you, well, any woman will say that once you've got your run out of the way, you feel good and you can get on with anything. You know, I just like to get my training run out of the way, and I know I've done it then. And then I can get on with all my housework and shopping and go to work or whatever.
So what advice would you give to any lady taking up running or jogging?
Just taking it up, I would advise them to just, first of all, just set off on say a mile run, jogging and walking it until they can jog it all the way, and then just progress from there. Don't set the target too high. Don't try and do a marathon too soon. Give yourself at least a year of running before they try a marathon, I would say. That's just to get the muscles and that used to that sort of distance. And there's plenty of half marathons and 10s to do before you attempt a marathon, really.
Well, you look very well on it. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Well, that's it, the Major Stone half marathon. Over 300 runners have completed the course. The winner being Chris Woodhouse in a new course record of 64 minutes 33. And as we speak, I believe the very last runner is completing his run. And we look forward to the continuance of this event